So, what if you're in high school or college and you're running cross country and you're going to run the same course multiple times in a season? What does that tell you? Is that helpful? Coach Jason here from Top Line Running. Hope you're doing well. Well, I think it is helpful. Why? Because it gives you an opportunity to strategically block out training or design training for specific courses. Now, you may live in an area where you train all in the flats and you're racing in hilly courses, or the opposite way. You may live in the hills and you may race flat courses, okay? And you may do a combination of things. This is why I encourage folks to do tempo runs on the flats, threshold training over the rolling hills or the flats, right? And as well as other things, rolling hill repeats, long runs, and so on. Prepare for cross country. But keep in mind too, okay, running the same course multiple times allows you to take notes and say, okay, this is what my guys ran here. This is what my girls ran here. Whether it's high school or college, whether they train for 5K or 8K or 10K or 6K or whatever it might be, okay? And I'm going to give you an example. Okay, I don't know if you've ever run at Van Cortlandt Park. It's in the Bronx, New York. It's a famous cross-country course. There's a meet in October called the Manhattan College Cross-Country Invite. There's also the Eastern States Championships that happens the same day at Van Cortlandt Park. That's 4 kilometers, okay? Now, I raced there in high school and college, so I'm very familiar with the course. I also took a metric wheel, and I measured everything out. And I have that broken down in 3 pieces, okay? From the start to the bridge, before you get to the back hills, is 1,200 meters, 3/4 of a mile. The back hills, or they call it the back loop, is 2 kilometers, which puts you at 3,200 meters, which leaves 800 meters to the finish. This course is 4 kilometers, 4K, 2.5 miles. So the 800 finishing is downhill and then an open field flat, which is it's almost 700 meters of open field, right to the finish. So the hills are in the middle here, okay? And if you've seen other videos that I put on this channel, I've got 600 for you. So if you're a coach or an athlete, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that yet. Okay, and my email is blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com. So if you have questions about any one of my videos, reach out to me. Okay? I also have a TikTok account called Access to Coach. I put out content pretty much on a daily basis there too for runners and coaches, high school and college, even roads, 5K, marathon, and everything else too. I'm here to help. But going back to the course, this tells you a lot, okay? And knowing that the hills are in the middle of this course, you could design workouts accordingly so that if you're doing reps, you could do reps where the hills are in the middle of the rep. Or you could do a workout where the hills are in the middle of the workout, and so on. If the hills are in the beginning, you move it to the beginning. You move the hills are in the end, move it to the end. It designs you to adapt the training to the race that you're going to race, no matter what it is, okay? And another thing, now this is a milestone, okay? There are 3 milestones for me. So I take notes, right? And say, okay, the athletes I coach, they're at this point at the bridge. When they get out of the bridge, they're at this point. Are the top 7 the same going into the bridge as they are coming out of it? Okay. Again, who ran faster in the hills? Who slowed down in the hills? And this is, taking notes like this and taking splits like this also gives you a lot of intel, so you could determine easily or more easily who went out too fast versus who's just not fit enough just yet, right? This is good data to pick out, to write down, okay? And that's why coaching with the eyes and taking notes is important, okay? And then you take the split for the last end of the race. That's just Van Cortlandt. So if it's a 5K, if you get mile markers, mile splits that you can get to, I encourage you to do that. Or have your assistant coach or someone else take notes, right? Or point out where they were at the mile mark. These are the splits. And then the 2 mile mark, do the same thing. If it's an 8K race in college, every mile if you can, or every kilometer if you can. It's up to you to decide what you can get to and what's easier for you to calculate. But this allows you to look at and see where the strengths are of your athletes and the weaknesses are of your athletes, and design training so that if people get slower in the middle part of the workout and it's the flats, then you can design workouts where you can do shorter, faster stuff in the middle of the workout. Okay, let's just say it's 5 times a mile for cross country, and they're always running a 3rd mile slower for whatever reason. You can do that mile 4 times a 400 instead at 5K pace or 3K pace, and then go back to the mile repeats at 8K pace, and so on. It injects a little bit of leg speed in the legs in the middle of a workout, and how well they respond afterward is another important component of the training, right? And so on. It allows you to customize the training a little bit differently, make any modifications that you would need to make in training. Because at the end of the day, if you have a pack of 1 through 5 or 1 through 7, and the spread is 90 seconds, you want that to get down to 60, right? If you're at 60, you want to get down to 45. If you're at 45, you want to get down to 30. At the end of the day, you want the spread from your first athlete to the last athlete who's running to be as small as possible. You want them to be as close as possible. These are the types of things that will give you the opportunity to design the training to help the back of the pack get closer to the front of the pack, and so on, right? And this is why taking notes is so important. This is why if you run a course multiple times during the cross-country season, getting splits is absolutely a helpful thing to do, and I encourage you to do it, okay? If you're an athlete or a coach, I highly encourage you to do it and take notes, and you can say, okay, and then you can see my runners ran their best leading up to this course. They did these types of workouts, and so on. Then you can modify any way you want, or you can continue going on with the training, continue doing what's already working, right? So, but at the end of the day, if you're running a course multiple times in a cross-country season, please take splits. Okay, and it's up to you to decide whether you want to do it or not as a coach or an athlete. Right? But I found it to be a lot of success with this. Okay, and again, it gives you a lot of intel on what you need to do. This allows us coaches to play chess while some of the other coaches are playing checkers. Okay, and the same application to the runners too. It allows runners to strategically know more about what they're racing and why they're racing and how to race differently. This is what's going to separate the men from the boys, the women from the girls, whatever you want to call it, right? The average from the best, or the average from the good from the best, and so on. It's this type of stuff. Improving around the margins. There are a heck of a lot of margins where you can improve. It's not always doing the same workout faster or cutting the recovery or adding volume to workout. That's a part of it, but it's this type of stuff, the icing on the cake, that makes the cake feel better. I don't know about you, but I'd rather eat a cake with icing instead of one without it. It's these types of things that help make it that much better. Okay, so if you have any questions, blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com is my email address. Reach out to me, please. Email me or message me on Access to Coach on TikTok. Okay, I respond all the time. It may take me a day or two because I get a lot of messages sometimes, a lot of emails. So my apologies if I don't get to you back to you right away, and I will. Okay, but I'm here to help. I'm here to answer questions. I'm here to help you become a better coach and a better athlete. Okay, and this is my sense of duty and obligation to give back to the sport that's me. I want to do that for you. So again, questions about any one of my videos, reach out to me. Okay, you need any help designing training? Okay, reach out to me. Okay, I'm here to help. Okay, have a great season, a great week. Talk to you next time.